Welcome to Crunch Time, a program dedicated to helping you survive the crunch times in your life, whether they are caused by accidents, natural disasters, poverty, economic recession, depression, or all-out economic collapse, or whether they are caused by your realization that today's food supply is being contaminated by artificial fertilizers, pesticides, and genetically modified organisms, and over-processing of crops into what can hardly be called food. We want to help you through the crunch times in your future by teaching you what we have learned about organic gardening, food storage, and food preparation. We'll bring you into our kitchen and into our garden and share with you what we have learned, hopefully before your crunch times arrive. Now here is Chef Francois. Today we're going to make sumac-ade, otherwise known as sumac tea. We're going to start off by gathering some sumac,
which go into the woods right here on the left. Now we're going to look for some more sumac. I think I'll go off in this direction over here first. This has got more open areas. Sumac normally is next to the edge of the woods, not in the deepest woods. This has got more open areas, so we might find it over here easier. This will lead us back out the Dixon Road, right out by that vehicle over there. Well, I got a couple low ones here. Oh, and there's some more out back here. This is a big sumac tree. You can see the tassels all around. And I'm gonna get out my bag. See what I can find. Here's one tassel, but it's got so much mold on it I don't think I'd want it. A lot of these up here have so much mold on them I wouldn't want them. The one way up on top is alright. I'll walk over in here. Notice how big these trunks are. They're almost 6-inch diameter. That one there is not a sumac, that's a maple, I think. But these here that's got the birch type bark that have little dashes in it crossways, that is the sumac. And thought there'd be some more over in this area, but usually they're in colonies where you'll see a few of them together. Let's try to get this branch down without breaking it. And we'll take some of these. Not as red as the ones I've already got. There's some sumac right here in front of us. The berries have pretty much all fallen off. some down lower that might be a little better, but not as good as the ones we already have. There's some up here that are way up tall where we can't reach them too well. Well, there's one right here I could reach. Let me see if that's gonna be any good at all. Yeah, it's pretty dry. Not gonna be a lot in it. And the ones down the hill, if I was hard up, I'd go after them, but I don't see it worth saving. One down by the creek over in the back over here. We already picked. One over on the left, it looks like, I don't know, a male sumac or something. I don't know if they're male or female or not, but there's one right there by the end of that pine tree that's down. And here in front of us, is the one that I came and picked a bunch off from. I'm gonna stop again. Take my bike off the road here. Now I get my bag out. And there's plenty to reach, even from the ground, but kind of late in the season. They're getting kind of dusty, moldy, whatever. This whole branch here is just laying on the ground. It's broke. But it's fairly fresh. Some other down over the water's edge that are good. Lots and lots of them here. I've just already picked enough to do the experimentation that we need to do. I'll take a few more though. There we go. Over here where this branch is down, I'm going to go ahead and pick some more, since it's going to be wasted anyway. There's a lot of them on here that are fresh. And that's enough for now. A sumac tree has been pushed over by a big pine tree. They got knocked over, and it's got some big flowers on it, some of which are stripped already, some even on the ground over here. This one, and this one, and this one. Okay, our plan today is to warm up some water to make some sumac aid out of. And instead of using wood, I'm going to try using soybean shells, or pods, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to start off with putting a piece of tissue paper down inside, and then dropping some shells on top of it. And then pushing some more shells into this shelf. And I'm going to drop a few more on top. And burning fairly well. And we're going to put the pot on top. I wish I had a fan. Not as good as wood. We're not going to boil the water, we just want to get it warm enough to have an experiment inside that we're going to have 3 different pots, 3 different temperature water for our sumac aid that we're going to make. Now you can see the bubbles forming on the bottom, so it's almost boiling. Definitely steaming. And looking down in there, we have coals for sure. Welcome back. We have heated up some water in the fireplace outside. You can see the steam coming off it. I'm going to have this one for cold, this one for medium, and this one for hot. So I'm going to put about there we go. I actually want some cold, completely cold in this one. And we're going to put some in here, quite a bit. And here we'll put just a little bit. And then here we'll continue filling it up. Alright, we've got that. That one's fairly hot. This one's lukewarm. We're just going to peel the flowers off the stems and put them underwater, and take the stems and put those in the garbage. And we're going to do the same thing with the cold water. So we'll take all the flowers off the stem. Let's over this so we can put the stems right in there. Or we could just put the whole stem and all in there, especially on the cold one. Let's put some in the hot without the stem. I think in the cold we'll just put the whole stem right in. In this hot one we'll make sure we have just flowers, because the stem is going to have some tannic acid in it, and if it was boiling water, it would leach that tannic acid right out of that stem and put it into the water. And we don't want tannic acid. We only want the absorbic acid from the vitamin C. But in the cold water, we know it's safe to just put the whole thing right in there. So these ones that I strip off fairly good go in the hot, and I'll put the stems into the warm, and in the cold one I'll just put a bunch of completely whole taluses. Warm, I think I'll put a couple whole ones too. Just the hot, I will strip them completely. I think even the warm is safe. So we're going to have to put something on top of these to keep it submerged. So that the water will completely leach out the vitamin C and the sumac flavoring.
Have plenty of water there, so we will put probably some plates, heavy plates on top of that one. Small one, I don't know if I've got a plate big enough or small enough, but I can put a bowl then with a plate on top of it. It's already leaching, you can see the color starting to form in the water. These aren't fresh tassels either. Some of them are dusty and moldy, and it's the middle of December right now. To get them fresh, we've been getting these in August. Not very many bright red flowers the way they would have been in August if we'd got them back then. Okay, these are just flowers, so I'm going to put those right in the hot one. And what can I put on top of that? Let's see if a bowl, plate, small plate will certainly fit the middle one, but not that one. But I think let's see if this will fit. Yeah, that'll fit fine. We'll fit that. We'll put some plates on top of that for even weight. And we'll put some on top of this one for some weight. And I'm going to get the rest of these flowers that are all over the counter here. And I'm going to put them in the hot bowl. Let's get one more bowl in there. Alright, in the cold room, I think we've got enough room for a plate. Not really. Put a small plate first. Then another spacer. And then a couple big plates. And we'll just let those seep for a couple hours. And we'll come back, strain them, drain them, and see what we have. Welcome back. We have let the sumac seep for about half hour. That should be enough for the hot water one at least. And we're going to take, I have a colander here, and I'm going to catch the juice in a frying pan. In the colander I've got a t-shirt. I think I'll even double it over again. So I've got 4 layers of cotton t-shirt material. And inside of that I'm going to put this strainer, and then I'm going to take my stuff in the hot one and I'm going to pour it. I'm not going to take all the flowers out and drop them into the strainer though. I'm just going to let them set. I'm going to squeeze them. In fact, I might even just take this bowl and squeeze it with that. And this is a very concentrated solution because it's very dark
And I'm going to put some warm water right back in there, out of the tap this time. And I'm going to seep it again. This time with a little bit more water. Looks like it'll stay submerged without the plates on top of it. So I think I'll just let it seep just like that. Alright, now this is pretty much drained. And I'm going to set this right on top of here for a second. And then pour that into this bowl. It looks like tea or coffee. That's how strong this one is. I'm sure the cold one won't be that strong. So I'll lay that off to the side, and I'm going to rinse my hand off and taste that, see how strong it is. Certainly got plenty of vitamin C in it, that's for sure. So we'll take our hot bowl, stick it over there, and then in fact, I'll take the cold one and stick it over here too. Just so we can get a shot from this camera. And like I said, we've got colander with 4 layers of t-shirt material. And I'm going to pull these plates up to the top like that. And I'm going to drain that the same way I did the other, right into the inner strainer. And I'll push on it with the plate I've got in there. I can pull that out, see how dry it is. Yeah, it's plenty dry. So I'm going to put some more warm water into this one. And let that seep again. And that one as well doesn't really need the plate on top of it anymore, because these things have already gotten wet and they're kind of waterlogged, and they'll just sit right down there on the bottom. Put them into a 2-liter bottle like this. And if I had a funnel with maybe a coffee filter as well, I would strain it even further. But I don't have what I really want. So let me see if I have a square Tupperware over the sink, just in case I spill it. Now I'm going to try to pour it into a 2-liter bottle. Spilling a little bit, but not too bad. Haven't tasted that one yet. Yeah, it's got plenty of vitamin C in it. So, I'm going to take my glass bowl that has the hot water stuff. I'm going to pour that into root beer container. So the darkest brown would be the root beer, would be the hottest sumac tea. Makes sense, because the hotter it is, the more it should have seeped, and the darker it should have been. So I'm going to make that one the dark. Put my colander back in place, and I'm going to
pour the water from the cold, which has a lot more sumac in it and a lot more water. And it looks fairly dark too, so I don't know how much I dare to pour out or squeeze out to start with, but that looks pretty good. Now, once again, I'm going to add warm water to that to get a second seepage. Sure, there's a lot more vitamin C left in there still. And that one's fairly well submerged. It wouldn't hurt to put a plate on top of that one just to get some weight on it. And we'll try to scoop that into something and put that in a bottle that's got, I don't know, just Diet Mist, whatever that is. Diet Sierra Mist, which is not a dark liquid. So the cooler one is on one that, and here, I think I'm just going to try to scoop it out because I don't dare to. And I'll pour it right over top of the pan just in case I spill. Okay, just take what I've filled, finish it up, and that'll give me almost a full bottle. And we'll add some sweetener to that, and that'll be a drink just the way it is. The other ones will have to water down. So, we're going to let those seep for another hour or so, and we'll come back and drain those, put them in the same bottles, and we'll continue from there. Well, here's our finished product after cleaning up. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 liters of sumac aid. We're not going to sweeten them until it's ready to drink, because if we sweeten them with with sugar, then they could ferment. So we're going to leave them just with the vitamin C and sumac flavoring they have already. And then when we go to drink them, we'll add the sweetener to it and then shake it up, put it in the fridge, and then we'll drink it. They're all fairly tangy. Some of them are stronger than others, as you can tell. This one here is the darkest, and this may be the second. This is probably the lightest. And want to mention, when you do this, especially on a white countertop, you will get some stains, and you'll have to have something to bleach them out. I bleached them out with Windex, but you want to be careful not to leave the stains in too long. You won't be able to get them out. So we've got 11 liters of sumac aid, and I'm going to enjoy drinking it. So until next week, thank you for visiting Crunch Time with Chef Francois. In the last minute of our show, I'd like to tell you about the real reason for this show. Jesus Christ, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Without Jesus as my Savior, I would not be confident entering into these trying times that lay ahead. If Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, I suggest you send me an email at crunchtime@roadrunner.com and ask me how you can join the God who loves you, His Son Jesus Christ, and His disciples in everlasting life. For now, I say to you, God bless and keep you and yours. I'll see you next week on Crunch Time with Chef Francois.